Hey guys, it is summertime. Heat index 111 outside today, and we've got company. They're in from Illinois, and I wanted to do something special for them. So I am going to make my grandma Nita's ice cream. Really, it's an ice cream custard because we're going to make it with, it's going to be cooked. We're going to make it with eggs. So this ice cream has always been one of my favorites. She would always make it when we would come home, but when we first started off making this years ago, we had the old hand-churned ice cream maker. And so you sat there and sat there and sat there. All the kids took turns, and it was a lot of fun, but all of us finally got exhausted, and the grown-ups had to finish it. Then she finally got one of the large churners with the electric churners, and we learned how to make ice cream with that. And then, of course, you always let it cure. Nowadays, I am using this. This is a CMAC gelato maker, and Mark bought this for me quite a few years ago. It has a condenser. It does the ice cream without having to worry about it. So you don't worry about ice or anything else. Today, though, I am going to chill the hot mixture. I'm going to chill it really fast in this bowl of ice that I have over here. So I need to make it quickly. They've gone off to College Station. My nephew's in College Station, and he is doing his master's. So, like I said, I wanted to do something special for them. They're leaving tomorrow, and we're gonna get going so you can see how to do this. Ice cream is really easy to make. Custard's really easy to make. It is an egg base, egg and milk base. So I start off here. I've got 3 eggs. Now this holds about a quart, a little bit more than a quart. So you need to adjust this to what you have. If you have one of those large ice cream makers, you can double the recipe. It'll stay good. The mixture will stay good in the refrigerator for a couple of days. So I would suggest you use some of it, freeze the ice cream, do it again. So we start off with 3 eggs. And I have this in a bowl. And I'm gonna add, and my grandmother loved to use carnation, evaporated milk. Condensed and evaporated milk are different things. This is a sweetened condensed milk, so that means it's a tighter milk and it's also sweetened. You'll use that in fudge and that type of thing. We're gonna use it today too, but we're gonna start off with one of the cans of carnation. We're gonna whip that whole can right into those eggs, and I'll make sure that they're totally mixed up. So we've got that can in there. And evaporated milk has a richer aroma than, say, regular milk. And so this is where we are with that. I don't know, can you see that? There you go. All right, so we've got that. We're gonna set that aside here, move it away from the heat. And in my pot here, I'm going to go ahead and add the condensed milk. As you can see, it's very thick. I like the HEB brand. I use it. I also use the Nestle's brand. I use the Lechera too, which is the Spanish brand. You can find that in a lot of stores here. About the same. Some are not the same. So you've got to make sure that you try the different brands of condensed milk out before you really use them. You're going to want the nice, thick, rich condensed milk. So next thing, I have whipping cream. Now, if you're on a diet, or your fat is reduced, you can change some of these milks out for maybe a lighter milk or a whole milk. Today we're using 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And sometimes I'll just change this totally out for half and half. I've got 2 cups of half and half. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the fire on. Not high, but about a medium. I do not want this to come to a boil. So let's get this going, about right there. So we stir this in. It's very thick at the bottom. The next thing we're gonna do is add 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. You can add a turbinado sugar if you want to. It doesn't make a difference on that, but I like granulated. You can also lessen the amount of sugar. I would say take it down, if you wanted to a half of a cup instead of 3/4 of a cup. So we're gonna mix that right in, just like that, and whisk it around. I feel the tension of the evaporated milk already easing up. We're gonna add anywhere between 3/4 of a tablespoon to a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And we're gonna whip that in really well. And we're going to add a dash of salt. And I need to get that salt. That was one thing I did not get out, sorry. And here's my dash of salt. You always add the salt to heighten the flavor of the ice cream. You add a lot of, you'll add salt to sweets too when you're baking. Very interesting combination. So this is the base that we've got going here. When it heats up, and it's already starting to do that, when it heats up, we are going to temper the eggs. Tempering the eggs means that if you add, so if I add this hot liquid or add the eggs to this hot liquid, what's going to happen is it's going to scramble the eggs in there. We do not want scrambled eggs in our ice cream mixture or basically any type of custard that we're doing. Sometimes I will strain it. I'll look at this after I finish it today and I will see if it needs to be strained. If it needs to be strained, I'll strain it. Most often than not, I don't need to, but if you're making this for the first time, I would suggest that you do strain it. Let me go back to while this is heating up, let me go back to my eggs and make sure I've got this all incorporated. So we'll temper the eggs and then we'll combine the whole thing together. And what that does is kill any bacteria that the eggs may have. You know, you should always use a very fresh egg. If I make ice cream, sometimes I make ice cream without cooking it. That could be a problem. So you would always use fresh eggs, especially in the heat now. This is a wild time, especially with salads and any type. That's why we're doing for sure, a cooked custard ice cream today. So I think this is all mixed up. Let's see how we're doing with this. Getting there, okay? We're almost there. It really doesn't take that long. So when we get to a point, after we get this heated up, I will start adding little by little this liquid into here. And then when I get it to a certain point, I will whisk thoroughly and incorporate it all. So, okay. We'll go ahead and stop the video right now and I'll come back to it as soon as it's heated. We're back. As I mentioned before, we do not want to get this to a boil, so you need to watch it. It came to a simmer and it took about 5 minutes because I have the temp, I have it down. I do not even have it on medium, I have it on low. But this is my highest burner. So I'm going to start right now by introducing some of this liquid into I'm going to turn it off first of all. So you can see there's a little bit of steam. We're going to slowly begin introducing this. And as you notice, I'm whisking. There we go, a little bit at a time. Remember, the whole idea is to ensure that the eggs get to a temperature, but they don't cook. You don't want scrambled eggs in your ice cream. Wouldn't be so good. All that, I'll tell you what, in the past years when I was younger and practicing on all this stuff, I've had some issues. So, you know, you just have to learn. You have to practice, okay? We're almost there. I added about 1/4 of a cup so far. I go ahead and add the other 1/4 of a cup. And you see I continue to introduce the hot liquid. So I'm gonna go ahead. My grandmother was a true character. She really did love to cook for us. And sometimes, just like I do, sometimes things don't always go perfectly, but her ice cream custard was always a treat. I'm going to use Dole pineapple, and I've got it chilling in the refrigerator. And so I'm not gonna put it in straight away because it will bog down the blades of the ice cream maker. It will be folded in toward the end of the process. We do not want to overburden the ice cream maker. Cuisinart makes one with a condenser. I don't know if you can find this one anymore. It has been a wonderful ice cream maker. We got it when we came back from Indonesia, and Mark knew that I love to make ice cream. And I've done chocolate ice cream, I've done all different types of custards. You can take Barks cream soda and add one of the condensed milks to it, and it makes the best frozen treat if you've never had that. So I'm still adding this little by little, and as you can see, I haven't stopped whisking. There we go. So I have about 1/4 of the liquid left in there. Now the tricky part is we've pretty much tempered it. That means I've diluted it and gotten that up to temperature. This is still warm. Remember, it's not on. We don't want to have it on. So we've got this whisking now. Here comes the tricky part. We're going to slowly but surely add this and ensure it's being whisked the entire time. There we go. There we go. Good. We're here. It looks pretty good. It's got a little foamy top to it, and we still got it whisking. We're gonna make sure we've got a good way to get some exercise before you eat this stuff. There we go. So it's cooled down. Anytime you're using glass like I'm using, and this is heat proof, but you've got to be careful because you're going to put a warm liquid back in here. So we have incorporated everything. We've got a little bit of foam on it. We're gonna take this off. I've got asbestos hands, but I don't recommend doing this if you're not used to this. I'm gonna put this right back in here. It looks nice and smooth. Good. Give it a couple more whisks. And as you can see, I've already prepared an ice bowl. And it's going to be a little shocking, but the temperature's not really that bad. I'm going to go ahead and put this right in here and we'll set it down in there. And what's going to happen is this is going to chill it down. It's not going to chill it down to the temperature that I'm going to need to have it when I put it in here. You cannot put hot liquid in one of these condenser machines. It will ruin it. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and cover this. We're going to turn the video off. And then when I go ahead and put it in the ice cream maker, we'll come back. Hi everybody, we're back. So you saw that I had placed the ice cream in a quick chill of ice, a bowl of ice, and covered it. I left that for about 35 to 40 minutes. Then after I did that, this bowl of custard basically went into my refrigerator. So it's been in there for almost 2 hours. So we've chilled it down. Remember, as I said before, never place that hot liquid mixture directly into your refrigerator or freezer. It will change the temperature in there, and it will take your temperature down in there and make it warmer rather, and that's not what you want. So anyway, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and pour this mixture into the ice cream maker. There we go. About 3/4 of the way full. We don't wanna go any more than that because what's gonna happen, the air will be incorporated into this. So there's a beater in there, and this automatically chills and mixes, so you don't have to do anything. We're gonna cover this. You need to keep an eye on it. It should take about 45 minutes to an hour. This is an old machine, so it'll take a little bit longer. These machines do a great job of freezing, but once we get this out, we are going to put it in our freezer to let it cure, just like with the olden days, we let it cure. It's very soft serve once you pull it out. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this on. You'll hear a certain sound with the motor. When the motor starts to sound strained, in fact, you should be checking it the entire time, but if the motor sounds strained, that's the time you need to take it out because the ice cream is starting to firm up. So it's gonna go, we're gonna let it go for about 45 minutes, and then we'll take it out, put it into the freezer, and then let it harden up. So we'll see you back. Hi guys, we're very close to having this ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the pineapple in. I've had it in the freezer. Today I'm using crushed instead of chunk. So I've had it in the freezer and it's gotten pretty well chilled. This is also gonna help to chill this ice cream down. I will not stop the compressor because if you stop the compressor, there's a 10-minute wait time, so we won't stop the compressor on this. I am not using a full can. I don't think we need to. I'm going to use about a third of the can in this. So, just gauge it about how much you want. So it's getting mixed up in there. As you can see, we've got some aeration in there. And in a few minutes, as soon as that sound starts happening and the motor starts to slow down, I am going to put it in a container. I'll take it out of here, put it in a container, and then we will get it going in the freezer and let it cure for a little bit. So it's been in here about 35 minutes at this point in time. It's got a little bit further to go, and we'll come back when it's done so you can see what it looks like.